All that seems to be on my mind is husband. I just wanna touch a onion. She just want a couple hundred. I got mad and changed the subject. Then I got drunk and said fuck it. This is for my hustling niggas. This is for my hustling bitches. Pull up with that Aquafina. Yellow bone, her name is Tina. Tina like the hit casinos. Tina could snort a whole kilo. Tina like to fight and argue. Bye bye Tina, bitch, you are you? Met a dark skin chick named Anna. Anna like that marijuana. Anna was from the Bahamas. At least that's what she said. I assume she's honest. I apologize, Your Honor. I just wanted me some money. You can't tell these niggas frontin'. You can't tell these niggas nothing. 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 All that seems to be on my mind is hustling. All that seems to be on my mind is hustling. This is for my hustling niggas. This is for my hustling niggas. This is for my hustling bitches. This is for my hustling bitches. Nigga, don't act so suspicious. Hustle hot as hell, but you swear they snitching. You don't wanna go to prison. You don't wanna go to prison. You don't wanna come up missing. You don't wanna come up missing. I just want a couple bitches. Put them in the ring, make a split decision. I'm trying to slow down with the sinning. I pray to God, no, he'll forgive me. Me and God had a discussion. He said, tell him, I said, you can't tell these niggas nothing. 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 All that seems to be on my mind is hustling. All that seems to be on my mind is hustling. All that seems to be on my mind is hustling. All that seems to be on my mind is hustling. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, what's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? What's good? You know the routine. Gotta give a little second for the stream to catch up here. Then we can get rolling. What's good with everybody today? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and we're back for another one. Alright, y'all, so let's see. Alright, we rolling. Y'all know how it is. We run the show ourselves, so you gotta make sure everything's working before we get rolling. Alright, so I just wanted to tap in today. We've been talking about Spence Crawford, we've been talking about Spence Ugas, we've been talking about Crawford Taylor, Crawford possibly fighting a Charlo. We've talked about it all, the Bob Arum lawsuit. Who else? Boots Ennis. And today I just wanted to do a talk on who is the best fighter of 2022. Who is the best guy going into 2022? We just started the year. Gonna get a lot of great fights this year,
and I just wanted to see if anybody would tap in, and give their thoughts as well in the comment section. Or maybe call in, or who they feel like the best fighter is going to be in 2022. You got a lot of options out there. I mean, a lot of options, and you can start from the bottom. What I think people would consider the bottom of the barrel, which would be, you still got your Adrian Broners out there. He's talking about making a comeback. You have your Keith Thurmans of the world. You have your I saw earlier, I think Chocolatito's fighting again. You got all these guys out there, and then you got your top names out there. You got your Earl Spences, you got your Canelo Alvarez's, you have your George Cambosas, you got your Josh Taylors of the world, you got your Jamal Charlo, you got Uzeki out there. So who is the best out of all of those? You got your Javante Davis out there, Devin Haney, uh, who else? Shakur Stevens is starting to make a name for herself. Boots Ennis is out there. Virgil Ortiz is out there. You got all these guys. Who's going to make the biggest splash in 2022? And I think it all starts off. We got the Josh Taylor fight coming up here in about a week and a half, I think. So the year is going to start off right with a Josh Taylor fight. That's a rhyme. Say that 10 times fast. The year will start right with a Josh Taylor fight, y'all. So I think that it should start there, and then we get into some even better competition when the Charlo Castellano fight happens, and then you get into the Errol Spence Ugas fight. We have a possible fight with Anthony Joshua possibly coming up here pretty soon. When is Tyson Fury gonna get? I didn't mention Tyson Fury. When is he getting back in the ring? So you got a lot of options that are out there. Hold on, y'all. Let me fix something real fast that I forgot to fix. Give me just a second. Let me fix this real fast.
Negative, nothing further.
All that seems to be on my mind is All that seems to be on my mind is hustling.
Negative, nothing further.
All that seems to be on my mind is hustling. All that seems to be on my mind is hustling.
I just wanna touch a onion. She just want a couple hundred. I got mad and changed the subject. Then I got drunk and said fuck it. This is for my hustling niggas. This is for my hustling bitches.
Alright, y'all, my bad. I forgot to switch my we got to switch my my settings back so that the stream will run a little smoother. So I had to switch that back so it don't get choppy on me. But what I was saying is you got a lot of fights coming up this year, big fights. Who's gonna make the biggest name out there in 2022? You got the Josh Taylor fight first. You're getting the Jamal Charlo Castellano fight. You're getting the Ugas fight. You got Anthony Joshua possibly making a fight out there pretty soon. You got Tyson Fury out there. So it's going to be a lot of big fights this year. Javante Davis is soon coming up. George Cambosa and Devin Haney are planning to get it on. A lot of big fights out there. So who do you guys think is going to be the biggest name to emerge in 2022? I think it depends on the weight class that you follow the most, really. I think it's whoever you like best out there. Me, I tend to lean more on the welterweight division just because that's where Pacquiao was campaigning at. So I watched a lot more welterweight boxing than anything else. But that doesn't mean I didn't have my favorites at other weight classes. Also, I probably follow the 130 to 140 division as well. Heavyweight, not too much. Super welterweight, not too much. I know a few super welterweights that are out there, but don't really follow them that much. But if I was to name Uh, my favorite heavyweight, it would have to be, and I know this is probably controversial to some people because I know everybody likes, and Tyson Fury. There were a lot of Deontay Wilder fans, but I think currently he's retired. I doubt he stays retired. I'm pretty sure he'll make a comeback. But you got your Deontay Wilder's out there. Me personally, I was a Anthony Joshua fan. I'm still an Anthony Joshua fan. I like Anthony Joshua. I felt like he was like the perfect prototype for a good heavyweight, but I think he lacked a lot of fundamental skill that I didn't recognize and that Uzaki took advantage of. So I'm hoping that Anthony Joshua can, refine his skills, come back and make a good go of it because I think he definitely has the skill and the body type to make a run as a heavyweight, and he can make another run. He could possibly be the third time heavyweight champion of the world. We just got to see how it all plays out. You definitely gonna have Uzaki and Tyson Fury possibly getting it on here pretty soon. I haven't seen that they signed a fight with each other yet, but I'm pretty sure they'll be getting it on here pretty soon. Who would win out of that, and who would become the king of the heavyweight division in 2022? I think we're going to get that unification fight win. I'm not sure exactly, but I think we're going to get it. And you know what? I like Uzaki. I think he has a lot of skill. I think he uses his size well. He moves around the ring a lot, those combinations. And I've always said that when Tyson Fury meets a heavyweight that can move and that has a little bit of punching power, he's gonna be in trouble. So I really think that when they do sign that Fury Uzaki fight, Uzaki's gonna be the unified champion of the world. He's gonna have all the belts, and he's gonna be the ultimate heavyweight of 2022 and going into 2023. I think Uzaki is the future of the sport. But I think Anthony Joshua, if he can refine himself, because now, Deontay Wilder's out of the way. If Anthony Joshua can refine his game and add a new wrinkle, I think he can give Uzaki a run for his money maybe into 2022. Depends on when Uzaki and Fury actually do fight, but maybe the beginning of 2023. Anthony Joshua would have made enough of a name back for himself to where he can challenge Uzaki for that title. Because I think if he refines himself, he puts some speed and with his combinations, he definitely needs footwork. He needs to build his footwork up and throw more combinations. That's where Uzaki kind of got him at. So I think Anthony Joshua does have a chance of becoming a big time heavyweight once again if he can, do the things he needs and refine his skill a little bit. All right, let's move down. So when you go down, you got to talk about Canelo. As soon as you go down to what is it, middleweight, you got to talk about Canelo. I mean, it's obvious Canelo's most likely going to be the best middleweight out there. I'm not sure what's going on with Triple G at the moment. I don't really follow Triple G too closely, but Canelo's just been dominating everybody they put in front of him. So I don't see Canelo having too many problems being the ultimate middleweight in 2022. I really don't know any names out there that jump out that could actually challenge him at the moment at middleweight. But I think if he was to move back down, which I heard he's moving back down a little bit in weight, and might be fighting at super welterweight again. So it could be some fights that could be made there. That there's some guys that could really challenge him at super welterweight. Okay, so you move down to super welterweight. Who's going to be the best super welterweight out there? And I think, it comes down to this Charlo Castellano fight. They're going to be getting it on here pretty soon. Personally, never seen either one of them fight live. I have watched some Charlo fights, replays, but I never seen both of them fight live. I saw the one where the one Charlo got beat, but I think that's the other brother. I don't think that's the one who's fighting Castellano. So whoever wins this fight obviously is going to get a big bump in fame and money, everything, because they're going to be unified champion and could possibly be either fighting Spence or Crawford in the future. So uh, I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say actually Castellanos probably gonna win that fight. So look for Castellano. I hope I'm saying his name right to be making some big name, making a big splash and a big name for himself in 2022. All right, let's move down to my favorite division, the welterweight division. Who's going to reign supreme in the welterweight division in 2022, man? Who's going to be the best welterweight out there in 2022? Hit that like button for me as y'all come through. Subscribe if you ain't subscribed. I don't expect too many people to be in here tonight. I probably won't stay on too long. But for anybody who missed it, you can just rewatch it and add your comments as you rewatch it. So who's going to be the best welterweight of 2022, man? I think, the welterweight division is still stacked, and there's a lot of names in the welterweight division. Of course, you got to start with your champions. You got Ugas, Crawford, and then you got the King, Spence. Out of those three fighters, if I had to pick one and say who has the best chance of unifying all three titles and just being the main guy at the end of 2022, and this is if the Spence and Crawford fight actually happens in 2022. Listen, I'm rolling the dice. I'm not a huge fan of this guy, but I do think he's the superior fighter at all those three guys. I think he's proven a little bit more at all those three guys, and I think Errol Spence Jr. is going to be the name at the top of the welterweight division when it's all said and done. When Ugas Spence is done, when Spence and Crawford is done, I think Errol Spence is going to be the top of the mountain. I think he's going to be the best welterweight out there. How they get to the Spence Crawford fight, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure of the path of how they even get there yet. Whether it's going to take another year or whether it's going to happen quicker than people actually think it might happen. Because based off what I heard, they're trying to make the fight for this year, but it's still such a long shot that I wouldn't hang my hat on they actually get it done for this year. But we can't give up hope. Now, there's a million other names in the welterweight division. And then there are names coming up from 140 looking to make a splash as a welterweight. You got Josh Taylor trying to make it come up. You got Boots Ennis trying to make it come up. I really like Boots. I think Boots is the future. I think he's the future and already is the future of the welterweight division. You got Virgil Ortiz. I've never seen fight, but I've studied his record, and I can't wait to see him fight. Who I think is really gonna make a name for himself, and I think him versus Boots would be the ultimate matchup to prove which one of those guys deserve to be the next big thing. But I doubt you're gonna get that fight this year because it doesn't benefit either one of them to face off yet. That needs to become a mega fight, just like Spence and Crawford is a mega fight, and I think it's gonna take a little time for them to get there. Of course, you got Josh Taylor making a come up to 147 if he wins his fight here in a couple weeks, which I'm thinking he will. And where does he go at 147? He says he wants Spence or Crawford, so we could still possibly, if Crawford's still willing to work with Bob Arum, get a Crawford Josh Taylor fight if we don't get a Spence and Crawford fight at the beginning of 2022. And you got Thurman still out there. People still like Thurman. He's not a unsellable name, but he's not a huge selling name. He's been gone for a while out of the welterweight division, and he's got to make a comeback and a name for himself. But speaking of Keith Thurman, I wanted to play this what I found earlier from Thurman and see what you guys think about this.
Niggas outside, they slangin' that ride. Chicks on the side, they slangin' that. Nigga like me, they make you see.
People can say what they want to say about Keith Thurman. Unless if you come to St. Pete Boxing, unless you've been to Florida, unless if you actually know something about me, then you don't know anything about me. And this is my life. This is what I do. This is my passion. Keith Thurman, since the age of 7, has only had one job in life, and that's boxing. This is where I put my blood, my sweat, my tears. This is why I wear red, white, and blue every time I fight. Boxing is my American dream come true. Being on Fox Network is my American dream come true. Entertaining the fans, getting criticism from all those other people, all that clickbait material is my dream come true. So I don't hate on the haters. I appreciate that they still have time to talk about me, you know? I appreciate that they doubt me, because your doubt motivates me. I do this for you. I do this for me. I do this like Martin Luther King because I'm living a dream.
All right, y'all. So that's Keith one-time Thurman making his case for why, people shouldn't be on his case, for lack of a better word. You know what? I've been hard on Keith Thurman for the past couple of lives, saying that nobody wants to see, him fight. Nobody's interested in him fighting. And, I base that solely off the fact that he's been inactive. You got to be active. There's been other younger fighters out here making a real name for themselves who deserve some shots that have been active this whole 3 years that he's basically been inactive. So it's not that, Keith Thurman can't come back, similar to a Yordenis Ugas, although Ugas never took a long layoff like Thurman did. But Ugas got beat and, got beat a few times, but still was able to come back, beat a legend, and make a name for himself, become a champion again. So, there's always a chance for Thurman. I'm not saying that Thurman can't become a champion again and, really make a splash if he's willing to, like you said, put the work in. If you haven't been down there and seen what he's done, then don't judge him. Personally, I haven't, have no ties to him, so I can't completely say what he's been working on for 3 years, but we'll see when he takes on his upcoming opponent and how he actually fares in that fight and what he brings to the table. I like Keith Thurman's personality. The Pacquiao fight, he didn't look well. Pacquiao's an amazing fighter. Did some amazing things in that fight and really made Keith Thurman look regular. So I'm not sure, what Keith Thurman we're going to get after 3 years, but hopefully we'll get a good version of him when he comes back to the ring. All right, y'all. So we're going to end it off at 1. I'm going to go down to 130 to 140. It's a lot of fighters from 130 to 140 that you could look at and hang your hat on and say, these guys might be the next big name. George Kambosos obviously made the biggest name right now because he was an underdog. He was a fighter that not a lot of people knew or knew about, other than maybe Pacquiao fans who knew that he sparred Manny Pacquiao a lot. So, George Kambosos has made a name already for himself going into 2022. But from 2022 and beyond, who's going to be the biggest name? I think there's a lot to be said about this possible fight between Kambosos and Devin Haney and whether that, actually comes to fruition. And if it does, George Kambosos can come out the victor. You would definitely have to say he's not a fluke, that he is the real deal, that he's going to be the biggest name in that division moving forward and possibly moving up to 140 since Josh Taylor is moving out of the 140 division. So he could possibly go up and unify at 140. So, you can start with Kambosos. Of course, Gervonta Davis is eventually, if Kambosos can get past Haney, going to get a chance to at some point get a shot at Kambosos in those titles. When that's going to be, nobody knows. But of course, Gervonta Davis has already made a name for himself at 130. And then you got guys, so I would call him the number 2 guy. And then you got guys like, who else is left? Ryan Garcia's out there. And then there was one more, Teofimo. You know, Vasil Lomachenko's already got a big name, but he has to get the fight to actually, you know, reemerge as that huge name at 130. And I'm not sure if he has room to move up in weight. If he might just go up to 140 and then, you know, since he can't get fights at 130, just move up to 140 and try to make a splash since Josh Taylor's on his way out. So you got those names there, but I think the top of the mountain there is going to be Kambosa, Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, you know, Vasil when he gets his shot, Teofimo whenever he decides what he's going to do for the future, and then you got Ryan Garcia out there trying to still make a name for himself. So, you know, I think I'm going to end it there. We didn't get too many people in the live today, but, you know, you can, like I said, just rewatch it and pick out the parts that you like. I'm going to end it on Keith Thurman, and I'm going to get out of here, man. I'm going to let Thurman end the show out, man. I appreciate all the people who did come through. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Niggas outside, they slanging that ride. Chicks on the side, they slanging that. Nigga like me, they make you see.
People can say what they want to say about Keith Thurman. Unless if you come to St. Pete Boxing, unless you've been to Florida, unless if you actually know something about me, then you don't know anything about me. And this is my life. This is what I do. This is my passion. Keith Thurman, since the age of 7, has only had one job in life, and that's boxing. This is where I put my blood, my sweat, my tears. This is why I wear red, white, and blue every time I fight. Boxing is my American dream come true. Being on Fox Network is my American dream come true. Entertaining the fans, getting criticism from all those other people, all that clickbait material is my dream come true. So I don't hate on the haters. I appreciate that they still have time to talk about me, you know? I appreciate that they doubt me, because your doubt motivates me. I do this for you. I do this for me. I do this like Martin Luther King because I'm living a dream.
Approach respectful. I'm all about them big checks.
Negative, nothing further.
It seems to be on my mind is all that seems to be on my mind is hustling. All that seems to be on my mind is hustling. All that seems to be on my mind is hustling. I just wanna touch a onion. She just want a couple hundred. I got mad and changed the subject. Then I got drunk and said fuck it. This is for my hustling niggas. This is for my hustling bitches. Pull up with that Aquafina. Yellow bone, her name is Tina. Tina like the hit casinos. Tina could snort a whole kilo. Tina like to fight and argue. Bye bye Tina, bitch, who are you? Met a dark skin chick named Anna. Anna like that marijuana. Anna was from the Bahamas. At least that's what she said. I assume she's honest. I apologize, Your Honor. I just wanted me some money. You can't tell these niggas frontin'. You can't tell these niggas nothing. 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 All that seems to be on my mind is hustling. All that seems to be on my mind is hustling. This is for my hustling niggas. This is for my hustling niggas. This is for my hustling bitches. This is for my hustling bitches. Nigga, don't act so suspicious. Hustle hard as hell, but you swear they snitching. You don't wanna go to prison. You don't wanna go to prison. You don't wanna come up missing. You don't wanna come up missing. I just want a couple bitches. Put them in the ring, make a split decision. I'm trying to slow down with